Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with another Viking Orations. This time around, I'm going to be doing an EP review, and what I'm going to be talking about today is the debut EP from the band Sisters of Suffocation entitled Brutal Queen. This is self-released by the band. Don't know anything about a limitation. I didn't see any kind of limitation. It's not a numbered edition or anything. Comes on a pro-pressed CDR. Yeah, a nice little B under the cover. And I actually found out about this band from a video that Infidel Amsterdam did. And he happened to mention them, and I checked them out, and I promptly ordered the EP, and I've loved it ever since I got it. I got it a little bit before I went on vacation. I probably listened to it about 4 or 5 times, and just as many times as when I was on vacation. It's that fucking good. But if you're not familiar with this band, they are an all-female death metal band from the Netherlands, formed back in 2014. And the members right here, starting on the right, you have Amber on drums, Elsimiak, or Elsa as I'm going to call her, because Elsimiak is very hard to say and I'm probably saying it wrong, on vocals, as I said. Then you have Simone on guitar, and last but not least, on bass, you have Puck. Yes, her name is Puck, which I think is really fucking cool. But what can you expect from this EP? It's, 5 tracks, right around 19 minutes, a little over 19 minutes, of just no frills, balls out death metal. Which, considering this is an all-female band, probably isn't the greatest way to describe, the band's sound, but you pretty much get what I mean. It's nothing overly technical. It's nothing, flashy or anything like that. It's just they come in, they kick your ass, and then they leave. I mean, that's pretty much what this EP does. It's death metal. I mean, old school sounding death metal is pretty much how you can describe it. Now, Elsa, she turns in a fucking solid performance on vocals. I mean, she's got this amazing growl that, honestly, if you didn't know ahead of time, whether by the band name or just if you didn't even know if the band's name or that they were all females, you would not guess that that was a woman doing the vocals. I mean, she is that fucking good. Now, she does do these kind of higher screams throughout as well. She kind of changed things up. She doesn't just stick with one style, which is always good, because some bands, they can get away with sticking with, one kind of vocal style, but then I like it when they kind of change it up between the growls and the screamed vocals. But once she actually does her screams, then you know that it's actually a woman doing the vocals. But other than that, she just great performance. She actually kind of reminds me a little bit of Leon Del Muerte from Impaled, or even a little bit of Sven from Aborted. But yeah, great vocals on this little EP. Now, Puck, she turns in a really good bass performance as well. I mean, she's not an Alex Webster where she's doing this very, intricate sounding bass playing or anything like that. I mean, she's pretty high in the mix, which I kind of like when they mix the bass a little high, especially with the flashier players like I said, Alex Webster or even Steve DiGiorgio. But with her, even though she's higher up in the mix. God. Sorry, it's been a long day. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, so. Anyway, she's high in the mix, but to me, she kind of reminds me of, she's like the Gene Simmons of death metal. I mean, Kiss is one of my all-time favorite bands, and what I love about their sound is that even though Gene Simmons is not a very technical player, he's not a very flashy player, he's always audible in the mix, and he's always laying down this very solid backbone to any song that they play. And that's pretty much what she does here, is that she may not be overly flashy or anything, but she always has a very solid backbone in this song. She's fucking amazing. Now, the drums, again, another solid performance. I really love the mix and the sound of these drums. It's not the, tin can snare drum sound, which, I listen to a lot of brutal death metal, and yeah, you do have that. You got the bands that sound like they're taking a trash can or a tin can and hitting it. But she's just got a really good sound. She does some blast beats, but not very many that I can, that I really notice. But she always just does a lot of cool, patterns and stuff, and she just A really straight up solid performance. I know I'm using solid a lot, but that's what else? How else can you describe this? And last but not least, the guitars. I mean, again, this is not technical death metal here. This is just solid death metal, and there's no guitar noodling or showing off or anything from Simone, but just very solid riffs, very catchy stuff, and the solos always spot on. But yeah, I mean, if you love death metal, you can't go wrong with picking up this EP, which I don't know if the band still has any copies left, but I will leave a link to their Bandcamp page in the description so you can check out the music for yourself, see what you think, and, buy the album if they've still, or should I say the EP if they've still got it, or, buy the download if you want, but definitely support this band. I would love to see what they could do with a full-length album, and they're still unsigned, which is kind of a shame because these ladies kick some ass, let me tell you. So I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10, and, I've said in the past, when I first started doing reviews, it's very hard to get a 10 out of 10 from me. I mean, it's got to be like real perfection to get a 10 out of 10, but still, solid 9 out of 10. Definitely check these guys out. So, yeah, that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys like this review and check this band out, give them some support. So, thanks a lot for watching and subscribing, and until next time, stay brutal.